But yeah, Victor ZZZZ26 says, as a Liverpool fan, does rating, here we go. Does rating change if Isak goes Liverpool? Yes, it does. Let's do it. We're here. I'll say for people about super chats. We'll get to you lot. So this dropped today. Fabrizio's tweet. Exclusive Liverpool made club-to-club approach with Newcastle to discuss record bid for Alexander Isak. If Isak won't be available, Liverpool can enter a TK race. As a TK, sorry. Decision up to Newcastle as they never wanted to sell Isak off a new deal. Now, they're doing the bully thing. They're saying, all right, cool. We want my man. You don't want to give us him? We'll come and take the one that you want. I can't. I'll be honest. That it shocked me. I'll be real. They went, especially Liverpool. Liverpool are a club that, if I'm honest, like you look at them, they don't do the whole spending crazy money. And granted, they just won the league. Granted, they didn't do much in the first window, but now they are flexing their power, flexing the size of their club, flexing their muscles a bit to be like, cool, we're gonna and even the fact that they've done this shows they have more money to spend. So even if they don't get Isak, I'm a little bit worried on who they go for next anyway. So yeah, that I'll be honest, it does affect my rating if you do get Isak, because it seemed like every time we mentioned Isak, that can't happen. Robbie would say the club aren't gonna sell him. No, Newcastle would never sell. And there was just so much. It's a dream. And then I'll be honest, it would affect my rating if Liverpool go there, put their balls on the table, pause, and end up bringing him over to Liverpool. Granted, it's 120 million they're talking about. That's a lot of. Don't get twisted. That's a lot of money. They just got a record signing with Wirtz as well. For them to then go back again and then break that with trying to get Isak. Fair play to them. I can't lie. I'm not saying I'm a little bit jealous of that, but I am happy with our window so far. But the signings they've got, they've got Frimpong, Wirtz. Kirkes as well. Bloody hell!
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, that's a window that's showing real intent, especially when you've gone and won it without those players. I'll be real, and you've only really lost a Trent that really. I know Andy Robertson, but I'll be honest, he's been one of the greatest fullbacks in Premier League. But I'll be honest, that last season I wouldn't look to him.
He's getting older, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not like he was pulling up trees when it comes to Liverpool's charge and success. Maybe I'm wrong. Liverpool fan might get angry and tell me different. But from what I saw, Trent is the biggest replacement. And you've done that, and then on top of that, built got Wirtz, and then if you get Isak, bloody hell.
And it's a mad one. And like you said, it's crazy because Liverpool probably looking at it. They've probably gone to Newcastle and said, "Look, for your own good, sell him now for a record fee. Go and get Ekatike because he's a good player." Because what they might even do, they might even say, because if not, we're going to buy Ekatike now, and then we're going to come back for Isak next year.
Yeah,
and you ain't got none of them. You know what I mean? Because once he realizes, he ain't going to win the league, he ain't going to win the Champions League. 2 years left. So Liverpool, like you said, they're not notorious, but when it's time to spend, they'll go mad. When they wanted Van Dijk, they were getting done for a legal approach. They still got the deal done. Alisson was 60-odd million when they got him. Darwin cost big money as well. So, and you got to remember, they spent 12 million last summer. They only signed
Kaiser.
Yeah. So, and they've won the league, so they've probably got two. And like you say, when you look at selling players, they've sold Kwanzaa for 35 mil, Kelleher for nearly 20. There's talk that Harvey Elliott, Darwin Núñez, all these guys they're going to make like 150 from player sales. So they could easily just go and drop the bag.
Yeah, they can front that. Yeah, they can make up. Yeah, it's so true.
And do you know what I like about it? And this is what I've always said with Arsenal, right? Sometimes you can't get players. Situation's not possible. But if you're a Liverpool fan, you're sitting there going, your club is trying to sign Isak. Arsenal will just sort of scratch it off and say, "Oh, you can't do it. They've made the Champions League, so you can't do it." But I just want to see Arsenal trying to get those kind of players. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't, just to show that ambition that, listen, we don't care if you got top four. We're a bigger club than you. We're a richer club. You think Isak wouldn't want to come to Arsenal from Newcastle and wear that 14 shirt? And he knows what time it is. You've got to put these guys under pressure sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I think got to do that knock thing. Like when a certain club comes knocking, you answer. That's you got to have. We should be that club. It feels like we haven't got that power anymore. And you know what, you're spot on. And what I'm very much looking at, Curtis, I'll be real, if obviously it's this season, but if we win the league, okay, it's a big if, right? I'm always interested on that. What happens after that? Because I've seen the cities of the past win the league with no striker, then go and get a record sign Haaland, spend a crazy amount of money on his wages and whatnot, and go big, win it again. I always see when clubs win the league, I think the right club, right mentality is to go, then they go and improve. Like, they don't just rest on their laurels. They say, okay, next thing is we got to go now. We got to go extra big to retain this title. So and I feel like, I don't know what it is. There's a feeling in my soul that says Arsenal may win the league, but you see that next window,
they'll be chilling,
bro, and it's gonna. I just see
they'll run with that. They'll run with that title for years, bro. I'm telling you. Like, Liverpool, I think they've won that league and said, "Yo, need to try and dominate now and take this away from Man City and go and win 2-3 titles and Champions League." Arsenal will be celebrating that. They'll bring out all sorts of documentaries.
The 2025, 26 Winners Premier League, Jamaica version, South Africa version,
everything. You know what I mean? Because you know what it is, bro. What we're realizing is, like, the one thing we're lacking in that pull, even though I'm saying you need to be ambitious, is we haven't got the trophies. What we're seeing at the moment is the power of trophies, bro. Because if you're 21, 22 now as a player growing up, and when you was a kid, Arsenal weren't that good. Do you know what I mean? When you were 12, 15, Arsenal were the odd FA Cup.
No. FA Cup, that's
nothing was really happening.
Are Liverpool winning the window so far, Curtis, you think? I mean, they haven't signed this sack, but I'm just even. It's tough, isn't it? Because I don't know. What do you think? Who's winning this window? Because there is some people making.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes you don't know how a replacement's going to look. Like, is Frimpong better than Trent? We don't know that. Does Vert settle into the league? Does the price tag get the better of him? He is a quality player, though, from what I've seen. It's difficult. It's difficult. João Pedro could be the signing of the season. You just don't know, do you? Like, sometimes it's the ones you don't fully expect. So I think it's still in that state. If Liverpool get Isak over the line, there's nothing you can do. It's like, their man in second and third when Bolt starts striding out and Blake's like, there's nothing you can do, man. If they get Isak,
they're gonna run away. They're gonna run away with it. I like that analogy still. At the beginning, like, we're with him. We're with my man. We're with him.
Then he just kicks it again, like, yo, let me just get a personal best and keep it moving, man.
Let me get on the podium. Let me just try and get on the podium.
So we gotta see, man. We gotta see. From what I've read and seen, it looks like Newcastle are not going to sell him, but Isak. So it's difficult. It's difficult, man.
Let's hope for that.
Yeah.
Let's hope for that. Manpreet says the transfers this season are 8 out of 10 for me now. Blimey, it's quite as high. Eze would make it 9 and Rodrigo would make it 10 out of 10.